everybody, this is Sarah Harnish. I'm a Young Living Diamond and I'm the author of the Game Plan book. Game Plan is the complete strategy guide to go from starter kit to silver, and you have found boot camp on the Oil Ability with Sarah page. I'm so proud of you guys for making it all the way to day 3. This is hard. This is the hardest training in all of Young Living. So to make it this far in is incredible. I mean, incredible. So what have we been doing? What is this crazy boot camp? You watch a video, and then as soon as the video's over, you read 2 chapters in the Game Plan book, and you do 2 sets of worksheets. Why 2? Because we're taking it in double time. My goal is to be able to finish boot camp in 12 days, to do this whole 300-page book in 12 days. And I know you guys can stick with me. I know you can do it all the way to the end. It's okay. If you got a little vacation going on in the middle, you just get caught up on the weekend, all right? You can do this with me. I want to see you at the very, very last night, and we're all going to celebrate together. And I got a little surprise for those of you that make it to the very, very end. All right? So day 3, chapters 5 and 6 is what we're covering tonight. I recommend working off of the 2nd edition. You're going to feel it for the first time tomorrow night. Remember that training I told you I was going to promise you how to give you some really thorough training on how to get people to show up for your classes? That's all new content that's in the 2nd edition book. So if you've got the old edition, this is a place where you're really going to start to feel it. All right? About 70 new pages in that 2nd edition. Where do you grab it from? You can get on Amazon Prime. Just make sure it's got the blue bar across that says 2nd edition, or you can grab the Game Plan book and workbook up on my website. You just go to oilabilityteam.com. Right here, right? oilabilityteam.com. This site is loaded with good things, but one of those buttons is shop. And if you get to the shop button, you'll see all my books there. You know, Game Plan's on audio. Now, I don't have the 2nd edition on audio yet, although by the time you guys are watching this non-live on the website, I might have it up on Audible by then. But that's a really good way to train your brain in a totally different way. Also, Fearless is up there. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. That's number 3 on Amazon tonight. Balance, we're going to hit a little bit tonight. And then the book and the workbook as well. And so it's just a great place to stock up for your teams, save a little money, half off on the website. All right, what are the oils of the night? I couldn't pick again. Come on, guys, there's like 200 oils and I only have 12 days. So I'm going to offer a lot of recommendations, right? Tonight I narrowed it down to 3 for you, 3 of my favorites, because we're going to be hitting a really hard topic tonight, a very difficult one. Matter of fact, I'm going to flip chapters around and we're going to do the virtual office tour first because I want to save some time for excuses and really hit that very hard. So because we're going to be talking excuses, there's 3 oils I wanted to use as our oils of the night this evening. First one is release, because we're going to do some emotional release tonight, right? Some of these things are going to be a big punch in the gut, and some of these things you've heard out of your own mouths, right? I heard them out of my own mouth, which is why I put them in Game Plan, because I am guilty of saying these things. So release is a great oil for letting stuff go. My favorite oil for emotional release, one that I use whenever I'm doing raindrops on people, is 3 Wise Men. Very powerful oil, very powerful oil, and it's very good at letting things go. Right? It's our frozen night. We're letting things go. And then the third one, a lot of times you're unable to release things is because you're holding on to it from your childhood, right? There was a really neat study that was done that showed a woman who was taken in for some testing. They put all those little sticky things on her head. This is the mom version of this science test. And they told her that her 13-year-old daughter was pregnant. And it looked like a rock, like a pebble, hit her brain and rippled across her brain. She had a huge surge in hormones that her body didn't know what to do with all those hormones, and some of them were stored as toxic tissue in her cells, right? And so inner child helps you to hold on to some of that, like take a look at some of that stuff that happened a really long time ago, which might be linked to some of your fears on why you don't want to stand in front of people, fears of why you don't want to let people in your home, right? Fear why you don't want to talk to people you don't know, fear on picking up the phone and calling people might be rooted in some of that stuff that happened to you a really long time ago. So inner child is amazing at digging deep, right? It digs really deep. So if you think that it's some deep stuff for you, then go grab this and throw it on your next ER order. So release, 3 Wise Men, inner child, those are our 3 oils of the night. All right. We're going to flip these 2 chapters around, and I'm going to talk about chapter 6 first, which is your greatest tool, a detailed tour of the Young Living virtual office, and then we're going to go into overcoming excuses and finding your niche. So Young Living has done most of the work for you online because your back office tracks it all. It's incredible. It tracks your team, your rank, your orders, your check. Many of you guys have asked me why I don't only focus on income producing activities. This is one of the chapters why. Because people need to know how to log into their virtual office, all right? They need to understand the difference between quick order and the essential rewards button. Now, admittedly, I only have about 5 minutes to run through this to keep this video to 20 minutes and still hit the excuses. So if you still have some questions on the virtual office, I'd recommend you go look at the original chapter 6 video for boot camp, because I go into it for like 30 straight minutes for your tour. It's a lot longer than the one I'm going to be able to give tonight, but I will be able to hit on some of the highlights so that your teams at least know the difference between quick order and essential rewards and understand how they're paid and the compensation plan. All of that's all rolled up into this training tonight, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my computer around, and I'm going to take you right inside my personal virtual office. I am not going to show you my check because that's against policies and procedures, but I can show you a lot about where the buttons are and what they do and all that other good stuff. So I'm just going to move off my password here for 1 second. Yes, my login is I should be asleep. I thought that was really funny. So welcome back. And we're going to go right into my dashboard. So the first thing you see when you're on the virtual office is called your dashboard. Now, how did I do that? How did I log in? Maybe you're brand new, right? If you go up here in the upper right-hand corner, there's a button that says sign in when you go to youngliving.com. And I just put in my name and my password, all right? You can have a login name or you can use your distributor number, right? So on the left-hand side, you're going to see a bunch of buttons. See all of those? And then you got your main stats right in front of you for your virtual office. It's going to give you a couple of news stories right on top. These 3 buttons are very important, and these buttons are very important. Tells you what you're spending. That's the thing I don't let my husband see. If you placed any quick order, if you have any credits on your account, if your check is less than $25 a month, you might see it show up as a credit on your account, and you can put that towards product that you order. Your essential rewards points, I usually wipe those out right when I get them. Your current OGV. OGV is your organization group volume. And then your PGV is your volume outside your legs that you're building, right? And then your qualified rank. And right now, it's not the end of the month yet, so we're not diamonds yet. Then it's going to show you what your numbers look like in your VO. And so this is a pretty stereotypical network marketing profile here. If you're actually working your business, you're going to see it do this. It'll kind of go like this, right? Because there's peaks and valleys, but look at the trend is always upward. So one thing I want to tell you is don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, okay? Not ever, ever, ever. If you look at your numbers and they're higher than they were 1 year ago, then you're doing a great job, right? If you're looking at your numbers and they're not as high as they were a year ago, then you got some work to do. And so you figure out which of the things, of the 3 things you're not doing enough of. Training leaders, getting your people on ER. Maybe you got a massive team and you're teaching tons of classes, but they're all zeros because you're not good at follow-up. Or maybe it's you're just not teaching enough. Maybe you can't find leaders because you just haven't been out there teaching enough, right? And so if you see this in your virtual office, those are good curves, right? You should have that. The trend should always be, it should always be up. So when we started July last year, my OGV was about 250,000, right? March, we tapped 500,000. We stayed in the 480 to 500 range. This month, we're only about 2/3 of the month, so we should get pretty close to 500 again this month, right? We're gearing up for our 750 for Crown. Then this shows you how many people you have in your team, how many leaders, so it's how many people have hit the rank of silver and up, how many new members. This is actually a pretty low month for us, but our team usually adds about 600 people a month. And then how many you have that are about to go inactive. Why am I not stressing over how many members we've added? We're only on pace to add maybe 300 to 400 this month. Why am I not stressed about that? Because I know statistically what my team does. I know in July they clock out, which is why I do boot camp in July, right? That's why, because I know August we're going to explode and we're going to be adding 600 to 700 people a month, right? It's awesome. Member resources. This button right here is a humzinger. There is tons tons of training in there for you. So if you're a new business member, there's YL University, all sorts of stuff in there. So you definitely want to check that button out. But for right now, if you're brand new to Young Living, there's only 2 buttons I want you to pay attention to: rank qualification and my organization. All right. My organization is how you watch your team. Rank qualification is how you watch yourself, right? Rank qualification, my organization. So I'm just going to give you a quick little overview of what these other buttons are, but those are the only 2 we're actually going to click on tonight. Member news just tells you the latest news, usually the promos and stuff. We've got the Global Leadership Cruise is about to kick off here soon, and so you would find that. New policies and procedures, that would be under there. Essential Rewards is where you place your ER order every single month. That's the only place where you can place your ER order. Quick Order is the only place where you can redeem your points from Essential Rewards. Those are 2 different buttons. My organization is how you watch your team. Member Resources is how you train yourself, right? How you know the rules for Young Living. Messages, not many people use that, but you can use it to send messages to your team. And My Account is how you check your paycheck. It's how you look at your orders, look at your tracking and all that kind of stuff. Getting started, if you're just beginning with Young Living, you need to watch the videos under this tab because it'll tell you so much about the company that you work for. For right now, let's focus on just 2 buttons: rank qualification and my organization. So if I click on rank qualification, this is how you get paid in Young Living, all right? Every time one of these green squares is filled in, you're getting closer and closer to the next rank. And these are all the ranks in Young Living. And there's only 4 things that you have to do every single month to be able to rank up, all right? So these are the ranks: Distributor Star, Senior Star, Executive Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Crown, and Royal Crown Diamond. John and I are Diamonds right now. You don't see that filled in because we're not done with the month yet. And then our OGV is 233, so we'll probably hit Diamond tomorrow. And then Crown Diamond is the next rank, and we're going for that this fall. We're getting really close. We're gearing up for it. And then Royal Crown Diamond is the highest rank in Young Living. So there's 4 things you can do. You see all the ranks across here, and then you see the 4 things: 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Number 1, you got to spend 100 PV to get your full paycheck. So, and that's no matter what, right? It doesn't matter whether you're a distributor or your Royal Crown Diamond. Oh, we got to spend 100 PV. It never changes. People say, why does Young Living require that of me? They're not requiring it of you. It's just, it supports all the people that have gone before you and already paved the way and done the work, right? And so the second qualification is your OGV. That's your organization group volume. Right? That's your purchase and everybody's purchase underneath you, right? What you order and everybody under you. So when you hit 500 OGV, organization group volume, you are a star in Young Living. The next rank is 2,000 OGV. So when you cross that, you are a senior star. Congratulations, Shelly, on hitting senior star last night. So proud of you. Executive, 4,000, and this is every single month. So every month it resets to 0. Silver is 10,000 every single month. I remember looking at this going, there's no way I'm ever going to hit 10,000 a month. Like, no way, right? And now we're bringing in over 500,000 a month. Our organization does about 4 million in sales a year, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But you know what? Here's the thing you got to remember. It's not about you, right? It's not about you. It's about all the little people doing a little bit. Right? This is the way that network marketing works. It's not one person doing a lot. It's a lot of people doing a little. A lot of people doing a little leads to a diamond organization, right? So don't put this on your back. No, you can't do 10,000 by yourself, right? But your team can. Gold, 35,000 OGV a month. Platinum, 100,000 every month. Resets to 0 in the first of the month. I had one leader call me crying one month when all of her OGV disappeared. Diamond, 250 a month. Crown is 750 a month. And Royal Crown is 1.5 million a month. There's only 45 Royal Crown Diamonds in Young Living. But you know what? That doubled in the last year. So why can't it be you? All right. Why can't it be you? All right. So spending your $100 a month, hitting certain volumes for your OGV is how you hit your different ranks, right? And honestly, 500 OGV, you can be a star in 1 month. You can be a star from one class. If you're placing your order and you have 4 people sign up, that's 1 class, right? It's not hard. You just got to get out there and you got to teach. If you're not teaching, you're not going to grow. The third requirement is legs, and this is where the strategy comes in. I don't believe we're doing strategy training tonight. That's a little bit later on in boot camp, but I can give you the gist of it. The nitty gritty is a leg is a person in a team, and a person in a team, and a person in a team, okay? So 2 legs is a person with 1,000 volume under one and 1,000 volume under another, right? For an executive, you need to have 2 people doing 1,000 in volume each, right? Your overall OGV is 4,000, but 2,000 have to be under those 2 people. Silver is 2 legs at 4,000 each. So 4,000 under one leg, 4,000 under the other leg. You can have 10,000 total, but 4 have to be under each of those 2 people, right? Person in a team. Gold is 3 people at 6,000 a month. Platinum is four different legs at 8,000 each. Diamond is 5 legs at 15,000. Crown is 6 at 20, and Royal is 6 legs at 35,000 each. And then the last thing is PGV. All right, PGV is your volume outside your legs. Outside your legs. So it's what's happening outside of your builders. This means that you can't just rely on one rock star to carry your entire team. You actually have to be doing something. So I like to do my PGV at the very beginning. I sign everybody under me right away, just level 1s, and I wait for people to pop. And so that fills my PGV requirement, right? You don't need PGV. You don't need 1,000 outside your legs until you hit the rank of silver. So star, senior star, executive, don't need it. When you hit silver, that's when you need it, right? Everybody clear? Is this clear as mud? So proud of you guys. I love all these stories. Silver approaching gold. Yeah. Diamond rising. No, I haven't copyrighted that. But it is my term. I did come up with it in the first game plan book, and Fearless. Also, I've seen t-shirts out there with Fearless out it. Hey, you know what? My advice to you is don't print t-shirts. Get out there and teach classes and get to diamond, right? You want a willable income for your kiddos. You want a willable income for your family. You want to take care of your family after they're gone. Don't do things that will distract you from your business. So are you going to hurt my feelings if you print stuff out of my book in there? Not really. No, the only thing we copyrighted was the word game plan. But I want to see you at diamond, and that's a distraction. Okay? That's a distraction. All right, so everybody understand how this works. PGV is not only level 1, it's all volume outside your legs, right? So if you got 2 legs, and then you got a bunch of volume outside those legs, that's where your PGV is, all right? OGV is organization or group volume. It's your purchase and everybody under you. PGV is volume outside your legs. It's not underneath your workers, all right? So, all right, that is this button. Next button that I'm going to show you. Everybody clears mud on that. And the nice thing is you can watch, you know, how it all plays out during the month. Say I'm going for gold, right? I can change this little gold arrow, put it under gold, and I can see if I've hit the requirements for gold yet or how far away I am. See how that changed to gold? The VO knows I'm going for crown, so it's always got it set at crown diamond. But say I'm going for gold. It's going to tell me what I'm getting paid on. The new stuff is in green for gold rank. And then every time you hit each of those 4 things, there's thing 1, thing 2, thing 3, and thing 4. Every time you hit it, it checks it off right here so you know how far away you are from your goal, right? I need 35,000 OGV, and I'm at 233 right now. I'm pretty good on that, right? I need 3 legs at 6,000. I got 1 leg at 77,000 and 1 leg at 70 and 1 at 45. We're pretty good on that 6,000, so I'm good on my gold chip this month. In PGV, you have to have 1,000 in PGV, right, for gold, and I'm at 40,000 right now, so I'm doing pretty good on that. So that's how you watch your stats. Now, I'm going to take you over to my organization, and here's where I give you just a little bit of hope. This is how you watch you. You should be tracking that constantly. This is how you watch your team. So if you click on my organization, I'm going to take you all the way back to the very beginning because I don't want you guys to get intimidated by the size of my organization because I was right where you guys were not too long ago. So here's my organization, right? And these are the first people that I signed, and this is my very first class. This was July 18th. 2014. It was today. Today is my 4-year anniversary in Young Living. I totally didn't even realize that. That's awesome. We call those oil-iversaries. Yeah, it was 4 years ago today that I got my starter kit on my door and my entire life changed. Totally changed for the better. So don't you give up. You don't know where it's going for you, right? You got good things ahead. So let's take a look at where I was at exactly 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I had one class and I signed 7 people. Actually 6 because one of them was me, right? So 12 people on my couch, 6 people ended up getting starter kits. So I had 7 people in my organization. So what does it look like? You can see their name. If they got a little plus sign, that means they popped. It means they turned around and they signed somebody else. You can see their member ID right here. You can see their volume. That's how much they spent. And you can see what your OGV is, right? Your organization group volume. If they're on auto ship, right? So I was the only one on auto ship after my first class, but don't worry, I fixed that pretty quick. So if I go to 1 month out, so this is me teaching 4 classes, I'm going to fast forward by 1 month. I go from 7 people to 27 people. How the heck did I do that? I just taught 4 classes, and these are all the people that popped, right? So I can expand that and I can look at their teams and see even more underneath them, right? I can see all the people that they have signed because they caught the oil bug and they're on fire. I can see they're my level 1 or level 2 or level 3, their number, how much they've spent, their OGV, whether or not they're on auto ship. You can click on the little green button and see all the ways that you can contact them. You can see their highest rank achieved and all sorts of good stuff in here. So let me just give you a little bit of hope here. Because you might be somebody who's sitting there going, you know, Sarah, I'm looking at your VO and honestly, it's just not me. Like I can't do what you can do and I'm frustrated. And, you know, it was just that consistency. It was the consistency of regular teaching, right? Not doing it and then not doing it for 3 months and then doing a class and teaching 1 class a month. That wasn't the way I taught. It was steady, consistent teaching. So let me show you what steady, consistent teaching looks like, and then we're going to jump into excuses, and I'm flying as fast as I can here to get you out of here on these videos. So we'll do a whole training on strategy. Don't worry about that. So 2nd month, 27 people, and my OGV is now at 2,300, and I'm a senior star. That's 4 weeks into my business. If I go forward 1 more month, we go from 27 to 63, and my OGV is now at 6,200. That's from 4 more classes, and we're solid executives, right? Solid executives. You can see those 2 legs over 1,000. If I fast forward another 4 weeks and I go to October, we go from 63 to 118. So we doubled, and OGV is at 14,000 with 2 clear legs at 4,000 each. That's 12 weeks into my business. If I fast forward another 5 months, this is just a class a week, all right? Fast forward 5 more months and I go from 118 people and 14,000 OGV to 461 people and 46,000 OGV, and we hit gold. If I fast forward another half year, so 6 months, we go from 461 people to 1,300, and we hit platinum. You can see the little P next to my name here, and 106,000 OGV, so we doubled our OGV again from 46 to 106. Now, if I fast forward a year, because it was about a year to my diamond ship, then we go from 1,200 people and 106,000 OGV to 4,200 people, this is 1 year later, and 275,000 OGV. That was the month I did the very first boot camp. You guys are all with me watching me rank. And then if I fast forward just a few more months, we go from 4,200 and 274,000 to 7,300 and 500,000 OGV, and that's what it looks like when you hit diamond up there, all right? So, I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's just the power of duplication. It's the power of consistency. It's the power of training your team to do the same things, to not get distracted, right? And to stay laser focused. It is unreal to see, right? But it's not me. I'm only getting maybe 4 to 6 kits a month, okay? I'm not out there doing 500,000 in volume. It's the power of the team underneath me. And that happens when you train them in the right direction, right? And they're all swimming in the same direction. So based on that model and our OGV growth, we probably should be hitting crown sometime this fall, all right? Which is awesome. Is it worth it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. Yes, you can. If you haven't found leaders yet, you got to just keep moving until you find them, which means you haven't taught enough classes yet. Get out there and keep teaching. My advice is take your check, put it in your gas tank, and go where you know people. All right, go where you know people. Okay, second part of the training for tonight, we're going to talk about excuses. I'm 2 minutes over time, so I'm going to have to do this really fast. I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying so hard to stick to the 20 minutes. It's probably going to be 30-minute videos, but still a lot faster than the original boot camp. So overcoming excuses and finding your niche. Let me give you a few excuses here real quick. This is where I punch you in the face. I hope you're okay with that tonight. I don't know people. Anybody ever said that to you? I live in a rural area. I go to church and there's 8 distributors in the church and there's only 50 people in my entire town, right? Did you just have an open class every Friday? No, I invited people. I built relationships. Tomorrow night is all on how to get them to come to class. So you really, really don't want to miss boot camp tomorrow night. It's probably the most important training of all 12 days. All right. Don't miss tomorrow night. Lots of new stuff out of the second edition tomorrow night. Other excuses. I'm not a news anchor, or insert any job that you have that they think would give you authority over what they do. I don't have the influence that you have. I don't have the time that you have. I don't have the money to start a business. I can't stand in front of people. I have children and no babysitter. I work too many hours. I don't want anyone in my house. I don't want to sell stuff to my friends, right? I'm too busy. Oh man, I get that all the time. I wrote an entire book on I'm too busy that I just released 2 weeks ago. So what do you say? What do you say to this kind of stuff? Well, first off, they got to know their why. Okay, they got to know why they're fighting for it. Otherwise, they're not going to get up and they're not going to try to fight through the excuses. But I want to train you on these so well that when they leave your mouth, you're like, whoa, wait a second. No, that's not real. That's not reality. That's something that you can fight around if you decide you're going to pursue this. And if you haven't decided you're going to pursue this, then you need to decide, all right? And you need to jump in. So let's debunk just a few of these, all right? I don't know people. Do you know my biggest team? My biggest team does about 150,000 OGV every single month. They're amazing. They're from Eldred, Pennsylvania, in the middle of the Allegheny National Forest in western Pennsylvania. So we're not talking Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. We're talking in the middle of a national forest. You got to drive 12 miles to get a cell signal. Every time I go and show up for a class there, they've got 200 people in the room every single time. And you literally, every town has got 100 people in it out there. I don't even know where these people come from. It's crazy. But they have developed relationships out there, and that is the secret to getting people to come to your class, is the art of the relationship. It unlocks the entire thing for you. So it's not about knowing people, okay? It's not about knowing people. It's about loving people and building the relationship to get them to show up. What about, I live in a rural area, right? I told you when I first started my business, I had moved 800 miles away from my friend circle. Matter of fact, I'm almost Crown Diamond and I still haven't tapped into my friend circle yet. They're all the way out in Chicago, so maybe I could do that from my Royal Crown Diamond ship. I don't know. I haven't even done it yet. I've literally just built my organization with people I don't know. You know, or people that are through people of people I know, right? Like one friend at work comes and she brings 2 or 3 friends with her, or one person at church comes and she brings somebody with her she knows, and the person she brings with her that she knows ends up being a rock star in my team, and I never knew her before she came to that one class. And maybe my friend doesn't do anything with the business, but that other lady goes psycho on my business, right? So most of the people I built with were friends of friends of friends of friends, right? What about the myth of saturation? Okay, let's talk about saturation for just another, just a moment here. All right, saturation is what happens when you put too much butter on your popcorn. It's not a reality in network marketing. All right, it's just not. It's just not. I mean, there are 4 million active distributors in Young Living right now. Okay. Actually, the latest stats just came out last week. There's 5.6 million now in Young Living. So let's take the latest statistics at 5.6 million. Now that is global. Those are global numbers. But let's just say all 5.6 million, let's say every distributor in Young Living is in the United States, which isn't true because there's also Australia and Canada and Mexico and a bajillion other countries, Japan, right? Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. But let's say all 5.6 million are in the United States. There are 300 million people in the United States. So if you were to have a class and 300 people were at it, only 5 would already have starter kits. 5, okay? That means 295 in the room don't have starter kits. Those are the people you need to be talking to. The issue actually is that you're talking to the same people. It's not that every person already has a kit. That's not the problem. It's that you keep tapping into the same circles again and again and again and again. So you got to get outside those same friend circles, all right? Take your paycheck, put it in your gas tank. That's my recommendation to you. I'm not a news anchor. I don't have the influence that you have. Guys, it is not about influence. I did a tally about 6 months into my organization, and I asked them, how many of you guys know me from being on the radio? How many of you guys know me from listening to the radio station that I work for? Because it's a big network. It broadcasts to 5 million people. You know, so do you know me because of my background in radio? Only 5% of my team knew me from being on the radio. 95% didn't even know I was a news anchor. So that had no bearing on it whatsoever. Like, not at all. They were friends of friends of friends. That's how network marketing circles are built, right? That's how they're built. So I don't have the time that you have. Guys, when I started my business, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I went in at 4 in the morning. I worked until 10 or noon. Some days later, I came home. I homeschooled 5 children. I had a special needs son. I was cooking gluten, sugar, and dairy-free meals because I was a migraine sufferer. I had 24 years of brain bleeds on my brain, and I cured my migraines by going gluten, sugar, and dairy-free. So I spent 2 hours in the kitchen every single day cooking. Then I would play mom taxi. I'd shuttle people around. I'd get about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then I get up and do it again. That was my life. Like, there was nowhere to squeeze a business in the middle of that. You got to decide how much you want this. Do you want freedom or do you not want freedom? If you want freedom, you got to stop making excuses and you got to get out there and get it. You got to get out there and get it. You got to get oils on people. You got to build relationships. And if you only have one person in your class, then you work with that one person, right? And you love on them until that one person brings 3 because they're an on fire and oiler, right? All right. So that's the place you start. If you don't have time, I wrote an entire book just for you. I collected over 8,000 social media responses. I compiled them into the top 40, and then I wrote 2 scripts on time management utilizing the ULA oils. This is a book written with the ULA guys. It's called Balance, the game plan to finding time for your young living business with ULA, and that book is a powerhouse, and you can read it in one afternoon. And we made it as a mini so you can teach classes off of it. For all your team that tells you they don't have time, then you grab that book and you show them, you know what, not having time is an excuse. It's an excuse. You either want this or you don't want this. You either fight for it or you don't fight for it, right? You either fight for it or you don't fight for it. I was at risk for catastrophic stroke. I was supposed to be gone. I wasn't supposed to live past 30, right? But I decided I wanted more for my life. And I got out there and I fought for it. I fought for my health with every single meal that I made and every bite that I allowed into my mouth. I fought for my health and I got my health back. Right? And it's the same thing with finances. You can fight your way out of where you are. You don't have to stay where you are. The nice thing about network marketing is it's not picky and it's not choosy, right? Anybody can do it if you can love on people. If you can love on people. So, all right. Other excuses. I don't have the money to start a business. Guys, it's a $160 starter kit, right? That's it. $160 starter kit. No franchise fees. It's not $500,000 to start your McDonald's. It's not 3 years of an interview process and vetting to get your Chick-fil-A franchise open, right? Do you know for certain leggings companies, you have to stock $5,000 worth of product in your house to go around and show people what you have? All you need is a starter kit and a 3-page script in Young Living. It is so simple. You don't have to stock anything. That's why I get frustrated when people do retail stores or make intakes because they're trying to play the retail storefront. You don't need to. Young Living already does it for you. It's just the farm to their house, right? Farm to the bottle. You don't have to stock anything. That's one of the perks of this, is that they get on and they order it themselves, right? So it's just the kit and the script. That's all it takes. There's no excuses for it. You don't need a lot of money. 1 yard sale will cover the cost of your kit. How bad do you want this? How bad do you want freedom, right? Get out there and hold a yard sale. Get your kit. And then stop making excuses and go teach. I can't stand in front of people. All right, then stand in front of an audience of one. One person. You love in that one person until they fall in love with oils too, right? Until they get the same passion that you have and they realize the freedom that they have for their family by kicking chemicals to the curb, right? And then you talk to the next one person and then the next one person, and that's how you build this big old legacy income. 45 silvers on my team, I would say 2/3 of them built with one-on-ones. So you can do it. You can absolutely do it. You don't need to stand in front of 50 people to build this thing. If you're timid and you don't want to do that, then you just meet with one person over some hot chocolate, right? I have kids and no babysitter. Take them with. Take them to your classes. I brought all 5 of my kids with to probably half of my classes. Pass them back and forth with your spouse. I knew I couldn't teach classes on Tuesday nights because I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I would teach class Friday night, Saturday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning. Pass with another Young Living friend. You know, have them teach a class on Thursday night, take their kids, and then you teach a class on Friday night and they take your kids. Pay older teenagers in your church to watch your kids for 2 hours, right? Oils in the park. Absolutely. I've done many, many oils in the park classes where my kids are playing on the playground and I'm teaching with the moms, and you limit the class to 30 minutes because you know you don't have very long with your kids not coming over bugging you every 2 minutes, right? You got to decide how bad you want this. How bad do you want this? Saying you don't have a babysitter is an excuse, right? I work too many hours. This is your way out. This is your way out of the too many hours. Man, look at the last 5 years of your life. Look at the last 10 years of your life. How many things have you crossed off of your bucket list? How many things have you wanted? What are the desires of your heart? And how hard have you pursued that stuff? If you haven't pursued it, what are you doing? How are you spending your time? Is your 40 hours a week getting you out? If it's not getting you out, why are you there? Why are you there? It's not freedom for your family, so why are you staying there? Will you hear my heart? 2 hours a week releases you from 40. 8 hours a month releases you from 160 hours a month of work. Why are you staying where you are if it doesn't lead to freedom? You've got to fight your way out. Stop making excuses and just do it. Just do it, right? Just do it. Just commit to it. Find the one person you know will listen to you and let you practice your script, and you get that script in front of them this week, right? Just get in front of them. Don't tell me that you can't find people, and don't tell me that you're too busy. You're too busy for your own freedom. You're too busy to stay where you are. You're too busy to never take a vacation with your kids, right? You're too busy to go get grass-fed beef for your babies. You're too busy to leave them a willable income. You're too busy to make sure that they don't end up in the projects. You're too busy to make sure your power doesn't get shut off. You're too busy to make sure that you have time to take care of your body. You're too busy to make sure that you get a date night with your spouse every single week. You're too busy to make sure that you don't go into adrenal failure, that you get enough rest for your body every day. That's where this goes, guys. This is freedom. I know because I'm living it, right? I'm living it right now. How busy are you? And how bad do you want this? How bad do you want out? How stressed are you? Grab the script and read the script. That's it. Okay? That's it. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this, but you got to decide you want it. And until the day you decide you want it, nobody is going to build this business for you. It's not your upline's responsibility. It's not a rock star and your downline's responsibility. It's your responsibility to build your team. It's your responsibility to teach your classes and build your other legs. And if you're not out there doing it, you have nobody that you can hold responsible for that except for you. And if you're working at a gas station right now, or you're working a minimum wage job or a $20 an hour job, and there is no freedom in your future, the only person that is responsible for that is you. Okay? You don't like where you are, then dig out and stop making excuses. Because you know what? Every single diamond in Young Living has said every single one of those things. I don't have friends. I don't have time. And you know what? They did it. They did it. I did it. You can do it. There are people that have taken game plan a year ago and are diamond already because they did it. They said, no, I'm done making excuses. I'm out of where I'm at. I'm not staying in poverty. And my children will go to bed without a hungry stomach. And I will be debt free. And I am not going to live in bondage. And I'm going to live in a place where I can give to other people. And I can live on 10%. And I can tithe 90%. And I can meet needs of the people around me without taking food off of my table, because I will not stay where I am anymore. Poverty over. Poverty over. How bad do you want this? Stop lying to yourself. Because all of those reasons that I gave you, it's just an excuse, right? It's all on you. It's all on you. Go find the people, share your passion, read the script, dig out. All right? Dig out. I got another story I was going to share with you about comfort zones, but I think this was good enough for tonight, so I'll share that tomorrow with you, all right? It's not about selling stuff, right? It's about loving on people. I don't want to sell stuff to my friends, the last excuse I hear, right? They're going to buy what they need, guys, with or without you. They all need respiratory support. They all need immune support. It's not about sales. It's about education. It's about meeting them where they are. If you're telling yourself you don't want to sell things to your friends, then that is an excuse. It's an excuse because they're still going to buy it. They're just not going to buy it from you. right? So get over your fear of talking to your friends and love them deeper than your fear and start digging out of where you are, because there is freedom on the other side of this. Financial freedom, emotional freedom, relational freedom, spiritual freedom, right? Mental freedom, poverty over. You don't have to stay where you are anymore. All right, it's time to dig out. It's time to get out. This is your year. It's your year if you stop making these excuses and you get outside and go love on people. All right? Find a way there around the mountain without complaint. Find a way around the mountain. So I love you guys. You have a great night. Tomorrow night, it's a humzinger. Oh my word, you thought tonight was incredible. Tomorrow night, I'm going to tell you how to get people to listen to you. I'm going to tell you how to get people to come to your classes. It's probably the most important training in the entire week. I want you to do your homework assignments out of the workbook for chapters 5 and 6. Those are the assignments for tonight. Chapter 5, I've got you writing down your excuses and then writing the opposite of your excuses. They're pretty intense, very, very intense. And then I want you to take a look at the different ways that you might be able to share, the things that you might be good at, right? Take a look at some of Eric Worre's stuff is fantastic. Then we go through the virtual office. And I've just got you doing some vocabulary work so you understand the language of Young Living. Make sure you get the workbook and fill it out, because it holds you accountable for this training. I love you guys. You get out there and you go do this. Don't you accept any of those excuses. Don't accept them from your team. You get out there and you fight, because you have what it takes to go diamond. You know that, right? You know that. You've got tenacity. You've got fight. Gosh, guys, you've done things that are harder than this before. Man, most of you are women. Most of you guys had babies. You pushed something this big out of something that big, right? You've done stuff harder than this before. You've got it in you. You just got to stop making excuses and get out of where you are and go fight for your dreams, because your dreams are worth pursuing. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'm going to train you on how to get people to come to class, okay? Go oil up, get some release on your body, get some 3 wise men, get it in your diffuser when you go to sleep tonight. Put some inner child in your diffuser. I'll put some in my diffuser. We can do it together tonight. Get oils on your body and keep moving, all right? Purge those excuses from your lips and you find a way around the mountain. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow night.